what's up? Alex here. Throughout my entire time on YouTube covering smart home related products, I have never touched on smart ceiling fans before. Reason is simply because smart fans were not very common at the time when I was renovating this place. Now, whenever you go to an IT show, you are sure to find a number of smart fans there. I was also not familiar with this whole smart home setup at the time, so I just bought and installed some cheap normal ceiling fans. After that, the way I sort of make them smart is to use a IR or RF controller device, and this device will basically do exactly what your remote control is doing. It works fine for the most part, but there are problems, or I should say limitations with this approach based on how the remote control is designed. Just nice, my bedroom ceiling fan has been running into some issues for quite some time already. So since I decided to change it, might as well take this chance to change all three of my current ceiling fans to a smart one from 3 different companies and share with everyone my experience with them. Okay, quick pause. If you're not aware of what other things generative AI is capable of doing now, you need to check out this AI voice recorder from Plaud that is powered by ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has been very helpful in our day-to-day productivity, doing things like drafting email responses to doing summarization. For online meetings with Google Meet or Zoom, they have AI features to help capture meeting minutes, breaking it down into different speakers and generate a summary report. What if I tell you that all of these can be applied to face-to-face meetings as well? Every person you meet, all the conversation you had, including phone calls, this device that you can stick at the back of your phone is able to help you remember everything. All you need to do is just a press of a button. All the summary results with the full audio transcript are stored inside the Plaud app. Honestly, I am mind blown when I think about the possible use cases of this. You can think about it later, links in the description. First is a solution from a company called Big Ass Fan. Yes, you heard it correctly. It's really called Big Ass Fan. You might not hear this name before, but if I say haiku fans, then this name is probably more familiar to you. Big Ass Fan does a lot of industrial commercial fans, and haiku is one of their residential product lines. Under haiku, they have quite a number of model series, and what you see here is the haiku-I in full black color, 52-inch size, which comes with a bunch of their smart features. All haiku fans have a 3-blade design, which I find is the best looking. For the installation, 2 guys came down and took roughly an hour. They also helped to dispose away my existing faulty fan. The parts they use are not the typical standard ones from the other brands, so they have to remove everything from the existing fan and replace it with their own. I like that you can hardly see any gaps between the ceiling and the fan. Very slim design and overall just look very sleek and modern. The main differences between the H and I series are the design and material used. The light kit is optional. In my case, I didn't get it since I don't need it inside my bedroom. So for the remote control, I will only make use of the buttons for the fan. This remote control is based on IR, so you need line of sight. One cool feature I found is that it has built-in sensors. It will light up the buttons when you touch it, very useful at night when the room is completely dark. It has 7 fan speed controls, 1 being the lowest, and you can see it's really slow. Then I found out that because haiku fans are sold globally, some countries need to push down warm air during the winter season. This process, called destratification, helps to achieve a more consistent temperature. In Singapore, they typically recommend using speed 6 or 7. One of the unique selling points is that it comes with a motion sensor. So whenever it detects motion nearby, it will automatically switch on, then switch off when no motion is detected. The detection range is just nice for me as it won't switch on if I'm just going in and out of the bathroom. This setting can be found under Fan Auto, where you can also set the motion timeout duration. Okay, I know you must be thinking now whether it will automatically switch off when we are sleeping since there is no motion. The answer is yes. So over on the app, what you want to do is to configure the sleep mode. You can see that once I turn on sleep mode, it will then turn off the fan auto. This is also explained in the app. Under sleep mode, there is a timer setting for it to gradually decrease the fan speed if you like. So take for example on Google Home, what you can do is over at your good night routine, add a custom action to turn on the sleep mode. Then your good morning routine will turn off sleep mode, which will then turn back on fan auto. Personally, for my case, I have set automation such that whenever my Akara curtain is in a closing state, it will then turn off the motion sense. This way, I don't rely on voice commands, and it also works whenever anyone is taking an afternoon nap. Okay, in terms of smart home system integrations, official support is Google Home and Amazon Alexa. For Home Assistant, you can find the integration to Big S Fan as well. If you are on HomeKit or SmartThings, don't worry because it also supports Matter. And I want to mention that it's really very nice of them to include the Matter setup code right inside the app. If you have used Matter devices, you know it's a pain to manually store the code somewhere, something that I hope other companies will follow as well. However, if you're connecting via Matter, you will see just a few controls. So for example, on Home Assistant, this is what I see with the app integration versus this is what I see with Matter. I like that the motto from Haiku is very quiet, and together with the sleep mode smart features, overall make it really ideal putting it inside the bedroom. The next smart fan is from Prism Plus, a very well-known brand in Singapore, sponsoring many local artists and influencers promoting their products. As much as I really dislike their marketing strategy, I'm going to be objective and give my honest, unbiased review of the product. So Prism offers two models, the Oasis and Oasis Pro. The Pro version basically allows more customization in the design. I opt for the leaf blade, matte white, 46-inch, 3 blades because less is more. For the motor, I find the hugger looks very bulky, so I went with the more classic downrod design. Matte white as well, smart of course, and RGB lights. And this fan will go to my study room. So you can see that there is a little gap here between the ceiling and the top cover. This is what I'm talking about. It can be because of my ceiling not being flat, I'm not exactly sure. Another thing that I immediately noticed when I compare with my existing fan is the size of the LED light. Prism One is a lot smaller, which is fine for the size of this study room. For the remote control, I'm surprised that it looks so similar to the one from Big S Fan, but it has LED lights to show you the current fan speed and light brightness level. Another difference is the Prism One is based on RF, so you don't need line of sight. I tested how far the remote can be away from the fan and still able to control it, and realized that the distance is pretty short. So the fan has 6 fan speeds. I would say that the max speed is slightly stronger than one from Big S Fan, but the noise is also louder. Besides the standard 3-tone light, it has the option for RGB light, which is quite special. I don't think other fans out there have this besides them. You can change to some of the presets directly from the remote. Here are some of them. Personally, I don't find the rhythm ones look particularly great, going to just stick to a single light. We hardly ever switch on this light anyway, so it's fine. Okay, coming to the app, they want you to use their Prism Plus Connect app, but technically, since this is a Tuya-based product, you can always use the Smart Life app instead. They customize their app in such a way that it only supports these 4 device types, which I don't really understand their intention here. They also remove the Scenes tab, which you can find it in the Smart Life app, where it allows you to create scenes and automation rules, all those good stuff. So my guess is the Prism Plus Connect app is simply for non-smart home users because, as I mentioned before, nobody at home is going to just take the phone, unlock the phone, go to an app to just control the fan. This is not smart at all. Smart home users will add a fan on the Smart Life app. I'm not sure why it always prompts the weak Wi-Fi signal notification. On the app, you have a tab to control the lights, another tab for fan controls. Then there is also a schedule and settings tab here which you don't need. Everything works fine on the Smart Life app, which you can then integrate to your smart home system. One good thing for Prism is you can easily use the government climate vouchers to offset the price of the fan. For my case, I paid just $150 for it, which I find reasonable for the price. Last product is from another Singapore company called Point One. I actually never heard of this company before. The reason why I decided to try them out is because when I go Shopee to do a search on smart ceiling fans, they came out on top of the search result. At the same time, the design of their Cyclone series is something that I'm looking for in my living room. The reviews seem very positive as well, so I decided to give them a shot. A small little complaint I have is the installer came pretty late, was told between 3 to 5 pm but only arrived at around 5:15 pm. It was about to rain at the time, so the footage you see here is a bit dark. Luckily, he is very good at his job, managed to quickly finish the drilling and fix up the fan in about 30 minutes. I was mindful of the gap between the ceiling from previous experience. I pointed that out to him and he did manage to resolve that as well after doing some adjustment. You can see it looks really seamless now. It has a very similar design concept as the haiku, just that the top part is thicker and also the LED light cover is a little too round for my liking. The remote control doesn't look as fancy as the previous two, but I actually like that it has dedicated buttons for each fan speed. Initially, I have difficulty setting the brightness level that I want. Then I realized the best way is to press and hold the buttons, and here you see the brightness going up or down nicely. This remote control is based on RF, and the range is much better than Prism's. So there are 6 fan speeds. Even at speed 3, which is the medium, it's already a lot faster than what I experienced before. What you see now is at max speed. It's hard to show how strong it is, but one thing you can see is the whole fan still remain very sturdy despite going at such high speed. For the lights, I'm able to compare it with the Oasis easily here. For brightness level, they are more or less around the same, but one thing you can spot the difference is the shadow flickering issue that is actually very common in many ceiling fans. For the Oasis, it's very obvious the lights are shining onto the blades and you see big shadows cast on the ceiling and on the walls very easily. Then I look at the Cyclone. This is actually considered very mild, just a bit on the ceiling. And if I position my camera this way for a side-by-side comparison, then it's pretty clear that the way the Cyclone fan is designed is able to reduce this shadow flickering issue to the minimum. In terms of smart home controls, it's also a Tuya based product, but it doesn't have its own app, so just use the Smart Life app. You only have a few controls here, very straightforward. I would say this is definitely easy enough for an elderly to understand the UI interface. One benefit of using a smart fan is you're able to sync the on or off indicator lights on a smart switch. Take for example my Akara Z1 Pro switch here. When switch is on, switch LED light is on, turn on the ceiling fan light. Okay, this is basic. But what if I manually use the remote control to turn it off? You can see that the switch is able to go to the off state as well and off the LED indicator. So this is something that you are unable to achieve with an IR or RF receiver. Something to note for Home Assistant users is that the default Tuya integration, which is via Tuya Cloud, won't have controls to the fan. You will have to implement local Tuya. This involves going to the Tuya developer platform to test out the controls and then manually configure every entity controls you want on Home Assistant. You will need to spend some time to figure this out. Okay, some quick summary points for each of these smart fans. The haiku-I from Big S Fan has a very quiet motor, comes with built-in motion sensor, best for smart home with matter support, but price is high. The Oasis Pro from Prism Plus is probably the only smart fan with RGB lights. Switching on the lights will have the flickering shadow issue, and the app is lacking smart home features. Lastly, on the Cyclone from Point 1, it has very strong fan speed which helps a lot during the hot seasons, easy controls on the Smart Life app, overall good value for money. To conclude, I would say that all these 3 smart fans are good in their own ways and the price kind of matches with the features you get. If I'm moving to a new house today, I would definitely install smart fans instead of using the IR or RF approach. So I would highly recommend it for people looking to build a smart home. Implement this early and don't waste the money buying the non-smart versions first. Alright, that's all from me. See you in the next one very soon. Bye.